Good morning, Mentorship Revolution, community, friends, and family. This is the MR Podcast, and I am your main speaker / host, Hannah Lassiter, also the founder of Mentorship Revolution, the new author of Poetry for Girls That Struggle, which is now available for pre-order on Amazon.com. So I hope that you will go grab your copy and that you... Today I did the 3-2-1 countdown. In 3 days the book will be published. So I'm very excited to see my work come to life in the truest form that it can. And I'm excited that other people will be able to access it, to be able to buy it, and to be able to value it. So in this particular podcast, kind of small podcast, I want to talk about the Mentorship Revolution question column, 14th edition, which I just published on the website. We're now in our 14th edition, guys, and that means that we've created 14 question columns. And I'm just very excited to see that the question column went this far, because I remember starting it, and I just remember it's been well over a year now, and we're on our 14th edition. And I would like to see you all put more questions in as far as what I write about and the questions I answer. You know, I don't have a problem creating questions, but I would prefer that the audience create the questions because I'm writing it for you guys. But I decided that I wanted to dedicate this particular podcast to sharing with you what I put inside that question column, 14th edition for December. Welcome to MR's question column, 14th edition. Mission statement: MR is designing a question column because we truly believe questions are the gateway to knowledge and wisdom. We are encouraging our supporters and the people in societies to see information that can bring about positive change, individual growth, and community growth. What's the deal? As of now, MR will answer a question every month that we have all asked at least once in our life, or will ask eventually. We desire for the questions to be asked by the people, but we do not have a problem creating them. To send in a question, please email the question to mentorshiprevolution24.7@gmail.com or leave it as a comment on this website. Enjoy reading this month's column. I want to send joy your way as we are in the midst of Christmas season and soon New Year's Eve. In this specific edition of the question column, we will focus on leadership. Leadership is the task rendered to the person that is most capable and gifted to show others the way. Ropes and way to be, do, and serve. Let's delve into the meaning of leadership and how one can identify if they might be prepared to lead or have strong ability. So the question is, I am interested in understanding leadership and potentially leading for the first time, but I still feel quite inexperienced and nervous. How can I prepare to be a confident leader? And this is a response which I gave. Hello, and thank you for writing to MR's monthly question column. We hope you enjoy your Christmas this year and wish you a happy New Year's Eve. It appears you are interested in leadership but still feel quite inexperienced and shy, which isn't the absolute worst thing to imagine. I mean, who prefers being in the front and high on demand when instead they can throw their feet back, relax, and watch? You see, leadership is a job. It isn't a title as much as it is a job and a character trait. Leadership has to be lived up to, and this is why most of us tend to dive out of the way. Life is stressful enough, be as it is, but I have a formula that will help you go into 2020 with a newfound confidence in leadership. Before you know it, you will be leading everything. Okay, I will present my strategies or answer in 3 individual steps. Please listen carefully. This is how you will fight feeling inexperienced and show up instead to lead anyway, because you can. Number 1 is to change or adapt your mindset. You are not inexperienced as much as you think you are. Everyone has some kind of skill, talent, gift, ability, or showmanship. Now that this is clear, stop saying I am inexperienced and start saying I am in a steep learning process. Change, adapt your mindset. Number 2 is to start somewhere doing more than ever before. No need to waste any more time being inexperienced, afraid, or still. If you are around opportunities, which could be found in school, jobs, community events, or researching online, start pursuing them, at least one at a time. Set goals that will allow you to plan and implement. It all happens one day at a time. Life is lived 1 minute, one day at a time. Number 3, this is the third and last step. So once you get opportunities, take them seriously and lead. I wish more of us had a leader mentality, but unfortunately it has to be learned from the ground up. Leadership is a development process. There are all kinds of leaders, types, and personalities. They should encourage us all to pursue leadership if it is in our DNA. Now I hope I can find you leading in 2020. So that's pretty much the question column for this month, the 14th edition, and pretty much I decided that I answered the question about leadership because I think that's a question we always should ask enough, if not only once in our life, we should ask it often, because leadership just really dictates a monumental of events and things that's going on in the world today. So if you're not questioning leadership, then you're kind of sleeping. So I hope that you all will make sure that you go read that question column for yourself so that you can see and grab the value of it for yourself to see with your own eyes and your own lips to read. But I just decided that I wanted to talk more in depth about that in this podcast as far as leadership and how leadership is, I think we all like to coin the term leadership, but we all don't really realize sometimes in our life until we have to step up to the plate. And it's really interesting because most of you know that I am a college student, and I was a course assistant for the first time this semester in college. So I was working with the first year students as a course assistant to a specific professor. And the name of her course, she was a woman. The name of her course was Women in Leadership. So pretty much focusing on women in leadership and those two big core principles, being a woman and being a leader. So the course really helped me get more upfront experience and listening to other speakers as they talk about leadership and how they had to step up to a task, whether like it was being a dean at the college or we had specific deans from the university come speak to us that were women. We had an African American dean who works as a dean who came and spoke to us. And we had other women in the community who are leading organizations and doing work that requires you to know how to lead. And they had to all speak about their personal experiences because in leadership, each person has their own personal encounter or their own wake-up moment where they finally realized that they were called to lead and they were able to overcome those stumbling blocks that may have been in their way. Because a lot of times it does get down to, your mindset, which is why number 1 was to change your mindset, because that's really where leadership starts. And number 2, opportunity is very important. I think if more people felt they had opportunities to lead, they will, which is why it's so important to, I guess, be involved in organizations and to be involved in what's going on in some things in today's world, because it's just important to be involved so you can find those opportunities and you can have access to things that are outside your home or, And then number 3, just take it seriously and begin leading. But, leading is, like I said, it doesn't necessarily happen overnight. It's definitely a development process and it's possible. And sometimes, which is why I even created Mentorship Revolution, a lot of times when it comes to leadership, you might do eventually need a mentor or someone who can pretty much help you through that process. Because if you're totally shy of leadership, or if you're very intimidated by the act of leading, then you will need a mentor, and you will need someone to go through that process with you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So I hope that you enjoy this podcast, and I hope that you are enjoying your morning thus far. And if you are not up right now, then you would certainly hear this when you do wake. Today is day 19 and of the Christmas marathon. So I hope that you all will have a nice day, and that you're preparing to enjoy your Christmas with your family, traditionally how you choose to do it, and that your gifts and everything is all set. And I just hope that you have a nice day. Be on the lookout for more podcasts, and enjoy your morning.